Why, hello Coursera colleague, and welcome to the latest video on grammar. Before we begin our class, why don't you come with me and we'll take a trip around the world. Actually, we're simply taking a trip around the classroom. But I think it's true for most of us that we bring a world of experience to our classroom. Some of us have traveled different countries, learned something about different cultures, tried to learn with some success different languages, and bring all those learning lessons, those humorous stories, etc. into our ESL classroom. So today, I am the teacher and you are the class. And at the same time, you are the teacher and I am the class. How does that work? Well, let me turn down the music and I'll let you know. You have heard of synchronous learning and asynchronous learning, probably, of using technology in the classroom, or blended learning, combining it. You also may have heard of the idea of a flipped classroom, where the learning takes place outside of the classroom and is brought back into it, again using technology. I don't really have a word for what I'm going to do yet, but I have the idea where the teacher is also the student, and the student is also the teacher. For example, I lived and worked in Latin America for a number of years, and I had the privilege of learning Spanish and visiting different countries and also learning something about those cultures. And even today, my Spanish isn't as good as it once was, but I do keep practicing it. And I worked hard on writing, and I got pretty good at Spanish writing, but I was never able to completely master it. But I did keep trying. Now, in the ESL classroom, you probably have students that really just need to keep trying. It's not so much ability. It could be demands, right? Or it could be life challenges. But you're there to encourage them to just keep trying. Here's the way that I like to do that in my ESL classroom. Learning English, Spanish people, I will include these links in the lesson plan, have certain mistakes that they make in grammar. For example, they would say, instead of saying I'm 18 years old, I have 18 years. And that is because in Spanish, that is the direct translation, tengo 18 años, or I have 18 years. And that's brought right across to English. Or in Spanish, they could say, I am boring, because they say, soy aburrido instead of estoy aburrido. The difference between ser, quality of being, and estar, where you might be at the present moment or how you're feeling at that present moment. English doesn't really have that, and so that's a translation that they bring in. And the list goes on and on. And so what we want to do is use grammar to correct those things. But what we can also do, if we are in classrooms where most of the students speak the same language, in my case ESL Spanish, and I know the Spanish. I also teach ESL Chinese, or have taught that. This is more challenging there, but in Spanish, I make similar mistakes, and English speakers trying to learn Spanish make those same mistakes. Gender confusion, literal translation, pronunciation. And so I would bring exercises in and have the students correct my Spanish. It would show them that we are all language learners together. And it would show them that the need just to keep trying and have humility and not put so much emphasis on an expert, but that we all can be in some way experts as we keep trying is key. And so they would learn from me through grammar and exercises, and I would learn through them as well. Also, one of the things that I would do is, right now we're going through the continuing challenges of the new election, and so I've included this on the news. This is Basic English, CNN, and Easier English, and this is the latest article about Donald Trump and I would have the students read that article off the board, or one at a time, maybe in small groups, and I would work with them on their pronunciation. I would work with them on the grammar. I would ask them to diaphoric those things like that. Right, I'm talking to you. And then what I would do is find that same similar article on the same news in a Latin American newspaper, and I would read that to the students. And the students can work on correcting my Spanish and my pronunciation. And from those things, the teacher can have in place resources or learned resources to put in place to help with grammar and pronunciation using technology, whether it's synchronous, asynchronous, blended, flipped, but at the same time, in situations, and I have one of these, where the teacher knows as a second language, the language where most of the students speak, the teacher becomes the student, and the student becomes the teacher. And that shows, excuse me, that shows the student that, that we're all in this together, and we can all help each other together. So thank you for being a part of it. Take your trip around the world and around the classroom.